being able to chuck one of these tight to an island every go is not easy. But by using this little gadget here, you can get your method feeder within inches of the far bank every single time. Let me show you how I go about doing it. Right, so I've got my feeder on. Some people like to clip up with a bomb, but when you want to be super accurate, I like to just do it with the feeder, because at least then when you get the mark, you know you're bang on the money. You don't need to bite the bomb off, tie your feeder on and lose, you know, up to 8 inches of line. So I've got my feeder. I always go with a little bit heavier than I think I need. Just really helps with your accuracy. The heavier the feeder, the more accurate you can be. So I've got a 30 grammer on there. It's only a short chuck, probably 27 meters. So what I'm going to do now is definitely not try and get a hole in one. I don't want to chuck it there, think, oh, that's on the money, clip it up, next chuck, you're in the brambles. So I'm going to start shy, work my way across. So let's get the first one chucked in. So I'm going to line up on my far bank, I'm going to swing the feeder forward in front of me, keep everything nice and straight, chuck it over, and there you can see there, I'm a fair way off, but that's all right. So I'm just looking at the distance there, now I'm thinking I'm just going to creep up in, you know, sort of 2 or 3 foot intervals to start, and then fine tune towards the end. So I'm looking at that there now. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull from the reel to the first eye as a guide, first lot of line, re-clip him up, buzz it back in. And it's all about being nice and positive with your casting. Don't sort of half-arse it. Be positive in what you're doing, be confident. So I've just got my far bank marker there, bring the rod back, punch it forward, and we're starting to like get our way across. So I reckon another 3 foot off that again. I'd sooner do it like this and take, you know, 10 or 12 chucks to clip up, but get it absolutely on the money rather than rush it, and then come the match or the start of your session, you think, here we go, chuck it in, and you've lost a lot, got to reset up. So far, so good. So this is going to go straight back in, and I expect after this chuck, we'll be not far away from where we need to be to start. So in she goes. There we are. So we're starting to get there now, but still, I reckon I can take another 3 foot of line off there. It's all about like getting everything right. So I'm going to wind in, just push that feeder out in front of me. So all nice and straight, back behind me, a nice punch forward. There we are. So we're starting to get in the realm now of where we want to be. So this time now, I'm not going to pull 3 foot off because we could be pushing the boundaries there. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to unclip there, take that off my clip, go halfway this time. And from here on in, it's all about just fine tuning. So nice and positive again, in she goes. I'm probably 2 foot off there now. So I'm just going to do that one again, just to be sure. I'd rather chuck it again, be sure, than pull some line off and get stuck. So I'm just going to give it another one of these, punch it, hit your clip, drop it in. So yeah, I want another foot off there. So in line with your marker. So in line with your marker, just to make sure, punch it over, feather it in, and we are like, you could, to be honest, to start your session, you could probably stop there, but what I'm going to do now, just to fine tune, is whip the clip off, and then just pull one sort of wrapper line off my spool. And I reckon, after this, we'll be there or thereabouts. I'll always start a little bit shorter when the session starts, so we'll see how this goes in now. Let's just put this in, see how we're looking. There you are. So, like, I'm happy to start there. Don't forget you've got to put bait on here yet, so that'll make the feeder a little bit heavier, so it'll travel a little bit further when you cast it. But when you start your session, if you're in that realm to start with, then you can just sort of fine tune, just inch it towards the island. So I'll have one more chuck just to make sure it's bang on. So just take up that little bit of slack. Be nice and positive when you chuck in. Like, punch the feeder, don't sort of lob it out there. Make sure it's, you know, you punch it nice and firm and just plop it in like you've seen there now. That is absolute money. So there you go. That's where that little that little line clip comes into play. When you get it clipped up right and you've got everything sorted, it's child's play then, because everyone will be on the money. So long as you do the same thing every time, it's money. So little clip, heavy enough feeder, nice rod, little bit of practice, take your time, get into it, don't try to hit a hole in one, work your way across and you won't go far wrong.